Hi, I'm Micah Clark with the American Family Association. This is week 3 of the Indiana General Assembly. I wanted to give you a recap of what happened this week. Now, this is a short session, but these last 2 weeks are very intense. Next week is the last week for committee hearings where a bill must make it through the committee process to stay alive. And we've got well over 800 to 1,000 bills filed. It'll get whittled down to maybe 300, 350, and then maybe about 200 will make it to the governor's desk when the session's over. So we're entering that first critical phase of committee hearings winding down next week. There'll be a lot of hearings next week, very intense, a lot of things going on. This week I want to talk about 6 different bills very quickly, 5 of which saw action and 1 I want to just mention to you to call about. But I've got my notes here, so. The first bill I want to mention, we mentioned before, Senate Bill 17. This is a bill that requires age verification software or procedure for adult websites, pornographic websites, to keep minor children off of these sites. This bill passed 44-1. I testified on it about a week ago, and it passed out of committee unanimously. It should fly through the House as well. 6 or 7 states have passed a law like this. 1 or 2 of them have gotten hung up in the courts. 1 or 2 of them were recently signed, and a couple of them are in place. So I think this bill should move through easily, but that's Senate Bill 17. And again, let me mention this. When I mentioned the bill passes, it's now dormant until bills cross over around February 6th. Bills all transfer the original House of Origin at the same time. So a bill doesn't pass the Senate, then go immediately to the House. The House has to get through all of its work, Senate get through all of its work, and then the bills switch over. And all Senate bills go to the House that are alive, and all House bills go to the Senate. Bill numbers don't change. So in a few weeks, you'll be wanting to call your House members about live Senate bills and your Senate members about live House bills. But right now, all Senate bills are in the Senate. All House bills are still in the House. So Senate Bill 17, age verification for minors on adult business sites, adult websites, passed 44-1. Senate Bill 50 is a bill I've mentioned before, haven't talked a lot about, kind of had some mixed reactions to. I think it could be a good bill. What this bill allows for is a public school to have a chaplain in the school. So that bill passed out of the Senate Education Committee on Wednesday on a party line vote, 9-4. Another bill in the Senate Education Committee that also saw action that same day on Wednesday of this week is Senate Bill 202. Now this bill is a very long bill. They took several amendments to it, merged part of another bill into it. It concerns what I would call DEI, diversity, education, equity, inclusion, critical race theory, things like that, and a student's right to freedom to not be required to do diversity education. This bill only concerns higher education. It involves some teacher tenure issues. It's a complex bill. I think it's a good bill, and it passed out of committee 9-4. We'll see what happens to it next week when they debate it and vote on it, and you'll probably see some more about that in the media if they pick up on that bill, Senate Bill 202. Now, another bill that is in the House, House Bill 1137. I haven't talked about this before. It is a bill concerning release time. If you know what a Good News Bible Club is, or if you've heard of the LifeWise program, which we've interviewed LifeWise on this video before, it is a program that the Supreme Court has ruled schools can allow students to release children for a certain amount of time for religious instruction if the instruction is off campus. And several schools in Indiana do this. And if you want to learn more about it, I encourage you to go to lifewise.org. But Indiana is a state that allows this, but sometimes the key to legislation is the shall or may clause. Right now our law says a school may allow a student to be released. This changes it to what a lot of other states have and what actually courts allow, and that is a shall clause, saying that the school shall release a child if they request religious instruction or go to their church for religious instruction. in a time allowed for that at the school. So that bill passed unanimously in the House Education Committee on Wednesday as well. That's 11:37 release time. We didn't encourage calls on this. I think this bill will go through pretty easily, perhaps even unanimously. But another bill I want to mention that it has a hearing at the time I'm recording this on Wednesday. It has a hearing this afternoon. I may testify for it, have a perhaps conflict with another event tonight because the session may go long today. But I think the bill will probably move. It is Senate Bill 201. It also concerns protecting children from pornography on mobile devices. So it would require mobile devices to have filtering software that parents could use. And that is Senate Bill 201. Will be heard in the Commerce Committee this afternoon. When you watch this on Friday, we'll see if that passed. I'll let you know next week if it passed out of committee. I think it will. They may vote on it next week. They may just take testimony today, but if they vote on it, I think it should pass. That's Senate Bill 201. You can look at any of these bills at the Indiana General Assembly website at iga.in.gov. Now, the last bill I want to mention may or may not get a vote. It was heard 2 weeks ago. I testified in favor of this bill, Senate Bill 46. It's a parental rights bill. Now, there's some confusion out there from some groups who misunderstand this bill, and they misunderstand the language in this. I just want to reiterate, the parental rights bill is in the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senate Bill 46 has been vetted by Homeschool Legal Defense Association and Alliance Defending Freedom. It's a good bill that will elevate, not restrict, elevate parental rights and require the government to justify certain actions that they don't have to justify now. Some people are confused about that in the bill. It's a good bill. 17 states have a parental rights bill. The U.S. Congress has bills filed on parental rights. And our language is just like those other states. What you see in there is not unusual. It's not a cause of concern. It has been vetted by experts in the legal arena on this language. It's very similar to other states. And hopefully the Senate will move this bill. But as of right now, they've taken testimony, but they have not given it a vote. Hopefully next week in the Senate Judiciary Committee, they will vote that out of committee, we hope. So you can call your legislator and encourage them, your state senator, to support Senate Bill 46, the parental rights bill, because I think it'd be very helpful for families in Indiana to have as a fundamental right, the right to direct the upbringing of their child. So if you have questions, we'll have some of these bills linked below. But of course, as always, my weekly email on Wednesdays is the most important because I give more detail on these bills and things going on in the legislature. And so I encourage you to read our Wednesday email. And I appreciate you watching our Friday video. Well, again, I'm Micah Clark with American Family Association. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for following these complex issues. If you have questions, let us know. But I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And again, this is American Family Association of Indiana.